Waiting for broadcast to tell me it has started. Broadcast is existent. Okay. All right, so last session, you guys left off. Whew. What did you do? Tortured child, 19-year-old high elf. So, to put that in perspective, a little baby, almost. Especially to high elves. You tortured a little baby. You escaped. You found MSG. Met one of the MSGs that exist, learning there are multiple from your conversation with him, and then gave him over to Maud and her contacts, and then went back to your tavern for a long rest. And you guys all wake up in the morning. J.U., I understand you have some things you wanted to do in the morning. I did note that first thing, your little... Yeah, so you woke up extra early, went and got that done, and then you guys all wake up, come downstairs. J.U.'s already downstairs, and get your meal, sit around the table to discuss your next plans. And the events that have just happened the day before. Nice catch. What's happening?
I got half the last row, or half the last set. No, not section. Layer, that's what it is. Half the last layer. No, I got half the last
It's
layer.
popping in and out.
So one
Now your filter's on.
and I have 6 more chests left in my inventory. Actually, wait. Hold up. 9 more. What do you mean? I was avoiding making it as difficult as the fourth layer is, and so I only had one layer that's that difficult.
I can't be a villain. Orin's my role model.
I need more wood. I have wood.
I'm not a villain. He's religious.
There's some ready.
Careful what you wish for, man. Careful what you wish for. You want to know what cult's the twisted version of Bahamut? Tiamat.
I drop them.
Yeah. I know what you're referring to. That's basically Tiamat, but like there's actually something behind it, which is Bahamut's sister, the 5-headed elemental dragon. Moving on.
Lost track. I have chests. No, I don't remember, and I don't feel like it. Cool. I'm trying to make things exist. No. Did you not see me in the building when I was in there? Huh. Is that what?
I just, out of curiosity, Nick, was your mic in your earbuds or on your desk? Okay, that explains why you were like in and out as you were rocking. Sorry, continue. Yeah, you're fine. Just continue. I just wanted to know because it was.
No. I feel that once we get the portal room done, we can actually go. I'm more excited about the combat. Sure, you might be really happy about getting this done. Is the Bronze Age that much more difficult than the rest?
No, keep going. I need you to be aware.
So you're saying the Bronze Age is basically just your classic early. It's basically just in classic early game fashion, type of grindy. But the Iron Age grinding is going to be more fun.
And tortures children.
So you don't mind the iron? Oh. So I have enough
Okay.
wood for the
Now, as you guys are having this conversation, the door to the tavern opens, and a man in full, holding a steam. Steam? That's the word, right? Yes? I don't know. Never mind. Doesn't matter. A man in full plate armor, almost ornamental, but still looks practical, walks in, scans the room, looks directly at your table, and goes, Adriana? He's scanning all of you because as he asks this question and looks at all of you, it looks like he's putting pieces together in his mind. And he locks on to Orin, and then Ju, and then Trevor. And doesn't take an aggressive approach, but definitely gets a more stern look on his face as he approaches your table. Go ahead. What are you inciting on? What are you trying to gain?
If I were to go on YouTube and refresh, I'll probably.
Okay. Yep. Make an insight check. Go ahead. What are you trying to look for? All right. What'd you get, Devin? 19. Alrighty. Would you get more than 5? Natural 5. Unnatural 5. Yeah. Yeah. I was reading it as I said it. Stand by for math. There we go. He is extremely hard to read. He has a very fixed face right now. You can't get a grasp of what he's there for, what his intent is right now. He seems very stern looking. Orin, you're able to ascertain that he's not happy with you, but he has not made any aggressive moves yet. He is simply what looks like walking over to have some sort of formal conversation. But he does not look like the happiest of mans. Mans? What the heck is wrong with me? What?
No, I don't think they can see. They can hear.
He walks over to your table. As he gets a little bit closer, you notice he has a shield on his back, and right next to the shield, vertically placed, is a lance. So he walks up, and he looks at you, and he goes, "Now, you all fit the description of some people that I have been made aware of. Some people who broke into the Citadel. You wouldn't happen to be those people, would you?" The claims? I don't owe you any information. I said nothing about trial. I was looking for someone And then I heard about what happened in the Citadel, was briefed on the descriptions of the people, and lo and behold, I think I found all four, when I was originally looking for one. Terrorism. You broke into the Citadel. You went into a section of the Citadel you were very not prohibited in. You broke into somebody's room. You tortured a 19-year-old girl for information she didn't even have, and then left. Judging from your facial expressions, I am correct in all of this. Who are you talking about? I am looking for 3 people. I was looking for someone else while I was gone, and I think I have found a 4. You've never heard his voice, but he has I don't think you have. Oh, yes, you have heard his voice in the meeting. He was that other voice you didn't know about in the meeting. Sorry. Yes, you have heard his voice. But you would have recognized his facial features. You would have been able to ascertain who he is pretty easily, based off what he looks like, how he's dressed, the armor he wears. Well, seeing as I never said her name out loud, or who she was,
You can't hear mine. You have no idea that I just broke it. Hold on, sorry. What now? No, I'm just looking shit. I'm just looking shit.
yes, I know all about the charm.
Did I say broke the floor? I meant I broke,
He looks you up and down.
broke down on the floor.
You're a follower of Bahamut, are you not? Then I'm sure you would have found a way to get information that didn't resolve around a sword to her throat. A 19-year-old girl, regardless of what she has done, does not mean you take a sword to her throat, tie her up in her own room, and threaten her life while you're doing it. You say that? Orin, as you, as this conversation is going on, you instinctively reach for your shield, like not to grab it and get a defensive stance, just to hold it. And the warmth that your shield normally gives off has gone cold. You can still feel the attunement to your shield. You still have all the effects, but it's gone cold. There is no warmth there. The reassuring comfort that your shield used to bring you is not there in this moment. Sorry, Nick, go ahead. Just because she wasn't harmed physically doesn't mean there won't be lasting damage mentally and emotionally. It is. So you're saying that by adding more to the pain that she already had, you're helped and made it better? What are you doing? You say you would have not let it go that far, but yet it went that far. You saying you wouldn't let... Regardless of your intentions, doesn't change the fact that the three of you are terrorists. I just told you all of it. You are fully aware. Bro is zoned out. He's like, who are you again? Sorry, I wasn't here. No. Did you or did you not bring this information up to the Vice Protector? Did you or did you not get told to leave these matters alone? You have, in doing so, acted independently of the law itself in doing this good deed. You were told the situation was handled. That is not for me to decide fully. You are going immediately back to the Citadel, where you'll be judged directly in the Citadel. See, you didn't just commit any normal act of or crime. You didn't just commit treason. You threatened part of the royal family. And in doing so,
By the way, I'm done.
you... Sorry, I lost all of my notes.
Hold up. I have
You have invoked the wrath of the High Warden himself. And you are going to get judged by him and his council directly. Don't worry, Devin. I've had a whole week to think this over and talk to a bunch of people. If you don't do stupid things, there will be no TPK. But I cannot stop you from facing the actions of your consequences. Yes, I said that backwards on purpose. And you, and he turns to you, Morgan, and he goes, I would like a word before, after they have been detained, but before their hearing commences. What do you mean? I don't know what that means. I need you to elaborate. This is not just him being confused. I'm also trying to process those words. Hang on.
circle.
Gotcha. Alright, you don't want... So you just don't want your name, period, coming up. Any of them.
What?
Which one?
Oh.
Understood. Were you there in the room when it happened? That didn't. Nope. As you go to cast guidance, you feel no magic slip through your fingers as you go to start the spell. You feel this disconnection between you and Bahamut. Mason. You're fine. It's just the reverb. Okay. He looks at you and he goes, "Fine. But only because if your name is invoked, punishment could extend to you as well." That right there is what a natural 20 will get you.
I got the deer's jaw.
You're welcome. No, you wanted that. That was something you wanted. If I roll low, that was bad for you. All right.
Did all my other stats
He looks to all of you and he says,
Can you cut those down too? 'Cause I know there were.
"I don't wish to have to
there were more
bind you and take you in by force.
throughout my force that
If what you say this really was a righteous deed, I hope you will come willingly and without any resistance. It will make this a lot easier for you."
oh, there's only one hit to destruction. How much wood do you think you actually need? Not very much.
Just the whole, draw it backwards and until you do something to rectify these events, just so you're aware, your magic is inert and you have no way of casting any spells that are granted to you by your class. Magic items, whatever, anything but cleric spells from your class, granted to you from your class. So if you, I don't know what items you have available. I know you can still cast scrolls. You can still use any, like if you have that Glove of Shocking Grasp, you could use that. But as far as anything else goes, for your class, even your Channel Divinities, it's all gone. Be glad you're proficient with swords. That's an elf trait. Clerics don't get any proficiencies. All right. So, I'm assuming you all go. He leads you all through the streets. And as you walk out of the tavern, you notice there was a small handful of not city guard there. This isn't this small handful of people that are here. This is not the city guard. They were, in fact, you two would recognize them. Ju, I don't think you would have had an encounter with them. These are from the Singorn's military, specifically part of the section of the military that goes into the Feywild. These are some of the highest trained soldiers in Singorn. And there's about 4 of them.
That way,
So as you exit, you get a full armored guard. They're elves. And they lead you through the city streets back to the Citadel. Sorry. Up to the Citadel, where you enter, and they bring you into essentially the 3 of you to the dungeon area of the Citadel. You they take your weapons, your gear, so your armor, your main weapons.
hi John.
Yes.
Nope, that's a natural one.
You guys are getting all sorts of luck from the dice tonight. You have your. They forget that they don't check for magical items because they're stupid. But they don't keep your weapons. You watch where they stash it. They have like a little like holding stuff for prisoner stuff behind locked doors. So they're not using your gear. Yeah. They wouldn't take any holy symbols off of you. They do take your instruments.
It should just be that way.
Yes. Yeah, they at least are aware of that. So the three of you are in a cell together. We'll get back to you three later. Morgan
I get close to one of these little structures.
pulls you aside to another room. And he looks at you and he goes, "Are you Adriana?" As soon as you say yes, you watch as there's a huge sigh of relief. And it looks like, despite him being in full plate armor, a weight has been lifted off of him. And he looks at you and he goes, "I thought you were dead. For years I thought you were dead.
About skeleton
I was
hands,
told you were dead.
and it goes.
From our parents." Why would they do that?
I'm working on it. How much more? Not much, or a good amount?
In a world of magic? Why would that matter?
I think I know.
Then he should know how important this is.
I just dug out basically this entire hole, and all I found was skeletal.
You hear in the corner of the room off to the side Percival's voice, and he goes, "Yeah, it's getting really annoying having to deal with this. We need to do something about it." And
Oh wait, no, there's another one.
he looks over to Percival, and he's like, "How did you get in here? Where did you come? How did you?
Took a bunch of fall damage.
What?"
Down a hole that I dug.
Almost too long, brother. Oh, jeez, I don't know how to do two characters at once. Why did I do this? I had a conversation with myself. Guess it's not normal. Or unnormal. Abnormal? There it is.
Yeah, that's basically
I'm glad you're entertained. Alright.
That's a lot.
That's typically how they go. Leo just turns to him and goes, "But seriously, how did you get in here?" And Percival responds, and he's like, "No one ever looks at the animals. Been with you guys the whole time. I was in the tavern.
For once, I'm actually a little bit scared of the railings, so that can help.
There's a bird in the window."
No food. So 13. It's saying that I am I dug so deep that it's saying I'm sheltered.
I saw it. I was just trying to keep myself in the bit. Okay.
Ow. I jumped too high.
The one in full plate goes, "Well, They wanted you dead for no reason. Do the younger ones know about you?
Alright, I'll smack a couple trees on the way. 52.
And which Percival goes, yeah, they treated her like a maid. Parents treated her like a maid.
Many.
Well, Citadel thought she was a maid. Except for me and Maud. You would have known if you weren't stuck in the Feywild.
What?
Which he replies, This is unjust.
Who could be 80?
This isn't what our city should be built on. This isn't what the High Warden should represent. This is wrong. Well, if they try to kill you, I'm sure there's enough people that will stand in between them and you. There's enough. As he looks up to Percival, Percival nods his head.
I found more treasure rocks. I marked it. So
Now, about your friends.
Percival goes, yep, I don't wish to be a part of this one. And he turns into a mouse and runs away. I have no control over the matter of this. I simply can cast a vote, but it's the High Warden who makes the final decision. That is not an ideal situation. If you break them out, then all of you would be hunted, and there is zero way anyone can protect you. I'm not related to the three of them. He creeps to the microphone. He creeps, and I'm like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. Says it. I was like, gosh dang it. I knew it was coming. I saw it coming. I knew it was there. Jayu, the only way it's allowed is if you do the gritty, but I have to see it in person. I need to see it on the camera. Okay. Whew. Alright. Well, when they are summoned, Maud and I will be there. And from what she's told me, they can be defended to a point. At best, I can get them branded. Which wouldn't be the worst situation, but it is the only outcome I can try to get to. Do you wish for them to see you? Yeah. I wouldn't go in the courtroom unless you have a way of disguising yourself. Then we'll take care of it. I will try and keep your friends alive. Not for them, for you. And he walks out the door. Do you follow him, or are you going to stay in that room and not be seen?
Fun fact, when you're throwing a spear, you have time between the click and the throw to aim.
Okay. While this conversation is going on, do the three of you have anything you would like to be talking about, discussing, doing, trying to get done? You are in the dungeon of the Citadel. Kind of like a holding cell type area for when they... It's not often used very often. It is extremely clean because the maids keep it clean and it's never used. Bro's just dissociated hard.
know. Let's see how much they hate you.
That's on a natural 1. That's an. Well, I'd say you're bound. Your arms are bound together. But you have, but that's the only part of you bound. It's just your arms bound together. So you still have the availability to walk around, move, do things, but your hands are bound. They didn't bind you to the wall. There's no other things, just your arms bound in shackles. Your arms are restrained, like your hands. You can't move your handcuffed. Not behind your back, but still handcuffed.
Do you take it, Thinhorn?
Wood cutting just went to 35.
You would or wouldn't?
What?
Okay.
Right. Yeah. You whack.
I have
Just
more wood.
smack him straight in the head, like right on the side of the face. It was a makes us.
Why are you just on fire?
You're handcuffed, and that's it.
You're a little hot.
There's always a bigger fish.
What? Something broke the campfire. Did you break the campfire?
Brony's the mantle of inspiration feat. Oh my gosh. That was beautiful. You know what? Orin, take an inspiration die from that. take a point of inspiration for that.
He gave you the rock.
You too, Trevor. It's at the top of the sheet next to the walking thing. You just click it.
What?
Well, you could choose if you want to take it or not, Orin. But Trevor, that was beautiful.
Wood. Are we gonna put torches outside the corner so we can actually see the door?
Sorry. At least not
Actually
us.
can see. You're welcome. I pulled out my hand torch. I will as soon as I stop disconnecting. A grayling is attacking where you just were 2 seconds ago. Hot portal room. Me. Does he do tricks?
The vestige. Vestige of divergence. That's just fun to say.
Make a portal. You know what? If you won't make a portal, I will. It's technically
Take that armor off, and what are you? Some people call it trauma. I call it character development. Spice?
Guess I'll wait for me to stop by. I can still talk to and hear you, by the way.
As you guys are having this conversation, sorry, go on. No, you. Uh, as Orin finishes his sentence, you hear footsteps down the hall, and you look and you see the knight that had arrested you, with Morgan following behind, approaching.
You should put them in the boat
He goes,
just in case.
"The High Warden will see you now." We have simply had a conversation. What? And she is the reason why I will fight for your lives in this hearing. It would be better for you if you didn't speak during this hearing.
Hold up, I'm gonna dump all my chest stuff.
Or right now. At all. That is, you are not getting the chains removed. The fact that you aren't wearing more shackles is good enough as it is.
I have so much stinking res left to die.
Should be good enough as it is. Sorry.
You know what? I'm taking 2 full stacks.
He looks over to you, Morgan. He goes, "You cannot be in that room. You cannot go to the room. I would prefer if you didn't." I'm not stopping you.
Yep, 8 wood. Regular wood. I don't have. I was gonna make some
Alright.
arrows.
He unlocks the door of the cage, opens it, motions to 2 guards that come across, and he leads you out, and the 2 guards flank you guys from behind, and he leads you up the stairs, out of the dungeon, into the corridors, into a familiar hallway, through it, down it, continued to what is essentially a it looks like a meeting room, except for the tables are elevated. So there's a lower platform, and he brings you all to sit there. The guards, second you guys step through the door, sit at each end of the door and close the doors, guarding the doors themselves. He leads you, has you sit at as you stand at that lower platform, and ascends up to the tables that are above you. So,
we go, we place the portal.
what's the best way of describing this that I can relate it to? I don't actually know.
We come back with our
Essentially,
and then we go back
very
up.
tall area where tables are. They sit up at those tall tables. You are down below being judged, essentially. And as you look, you see Maud is there.
What do you have?
2 faces you don't recognize. And the man in armor himself.
There, it shows you.
One face, sorry, one other face you don't recognize. Maud, the man who is in the armor, and two older figures, like old, uh, like old for an elf, old, sitting there, looking down upon you.
It turns out I actually was able to use my stuff because
Nope.
I didn't know I had any stuff.
Adele is not there.
So I had some stuff that I could use.
As the man in the armor walks up, he stops and leans in and whispers to the older guy, the oldest one there. And goes and takes a seat next to Maud. You are standing there looking up as these
Hold up,
5 figures are looking down on you.
dropping a rock on the floor.
They have a thing against fire in case you haven't noticed. It's more like a lightning bolt. That was this close, Mason. It's hovering over the button.
2 hours.
All right. All right. The oldest of them, the High Warden, stands up and he goes, "Are you aware of why you have been brought in here?" His voice echoes around the chamber.
Bottom left. Did I say right?
Then you know of what crimes you are being accused of.
Come on. It's day 101. No, it's not.
For some reason, my children think you are worth letting live.
Steven's not here.
I want to know why.
Place the portal.
Not from them. From you. Why should I spare your lives after you broke into my daughter's room and tortured her? Why should I let you live? At this point, he has standed up and slammed his hands on the table in front of him, staring down upon you. Barely holding back the seething rage that it is quite obviously consumed with in this moment.
I'm ready. Actually. Are you gonna bring any wood with you? 'Cause I don't have any. Yeah, like 15 maybe. Could just throw in the boat. That's a little bit. I have plenty of food, I just don't have the food that I want. Hearing too much. Can I just take a couple deep, no. I was gonna say, could I take some, what?
Make a persuasion check with advantage. You don't have a way to.
Oh.
What'd you say? 18. He looks from you to his eyes go from you,
You went to the
not that
floor
you're
and
looking,
scratched the table?
and rest upon Trevor Jehu, expectantly waiting a response. You ask if this just actually. That sounds like a in-person or in-game conversation to have been had. You just want to go first. Oh no, man, not me. You go first.
I just put 2 stacks of it in the thing. Making it easier to go. Why couldn't you get resident? Okay.
Just for my sake, is your character genuinely sorry? Roll a persuasion check.
Well, resident shouldn't be too difficult.
While you're doing that, Ju, he looks upon you, waiting. Welcome to my entire life, especially while running these games. Your inspiration is
Just so you have a
different iterations do it differently. It's a reroll. You can choose to reroll the die if you wish.
Eric, I hope you know I have Certain cores in my test step.
On D&D Beyond? Right, yes. So, yes.
Inspiration is different in the core rules. I'm rolling it as you can as it's basically a luck point. Yes.
I just have 14 raw deer meat in my chest. We'll take shifts. Why? Why? Okay.
You're shackled. He's just like. Yeah.
Shoot the deer. Getting. I know.
Well, you're not there, so
I didn't do it.
they don't have logic, so you're not there.
No, sure enough. Like almost directly at our back.
Could.
Fun fact, you're driving. Oh wait, no. I was facing directly towards.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would assume you are genuinely sorry. I just wanted to double check with Trevor. What'd you get? What'd you get? What'd you say?
How does one beat a sea serpent easily?
What'd you get? Persuasion. You're good at this. Do you have like a plus?
So good amount.
What'd you think it was? A 9?
So just
Oh.
pick where the wind's at and go that way.
You watch as he takes in a very big, deep breath as you are all bowing before him in some way, shape, or form.
Years later, is it still active? Or is it
Despite how you feel,
is there a reason you're going
you
towards the
still committed acts of terrorism against my city and my family.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
I cannot just waive punishment. And as he's saying this, Maud goes, "But father, they have been fighting the Myriad across all of Tal'Dorei. You can't just..." And he's like, "Silence!
What?
I do not care what they have done or where they have been.
What, like a what sailor?
At the very least, they will live their lives out in the dungeons."
What, like a master?
In this case, the man in the armor stands up and he goes, "If they have been fighting the Myriad,
Hey,
sire, across all of Tal'Dorei, they have brought it here, rooted it into our citadel, found it where we could not, then maybe we shouldn't just imprison them. They could be of use. Brand them and let them go. And then, if they do anything after that, then you can show no mercy. But for now, leave them with the brand. Please." As he started speaking, he shoots and he glares right at him and he goes, he takes another deep breath, looks at him, anger in his eyes. "If you were to be heir to my throne, you would be a wise leader. Very well, leave them with the brand and get them out of my sight." And the guards, he turns around, starts to walk away down steps you cannot see. The guards immediately grab you all and pull you out of the room.
I think you said weird, but I'm not. Okay. Let's try
As you guys are getting pulled out, you notice the man in armor turn to talk to Morgan. Or not Morgan, Maud Ems, sorry. Unable to make out what's happening, but they seem to be talking about something as everyone else from this meeting seems to disperse.
What the heck kind of tree is that?
Where are you at, Morgan?
That's a beech tree?
Okay, right outside the door. The guards are inside, not outside.
Why?
They lead you out.
Might be. What kind of wood do you get from oak?
You say this in front of the guards that are escorting them.
Regular and fine.
Again, you are being escorted by guards. You are not free yet. The guards lead you to another area, and where there seems to be some sort of mage. You are unsure. He has a bunch of instruments everywhere, alchemical solutions. It's a very
We're going this way.
thrown together thing. He's all over the place, and he turns and he looks at you and he goes, "Ah, so they requested the brand, didn't they? It's been a while since I've done one of these. Let's go."
Yeah.
You and Orin, if you so wish, can make an history check on the brand. Morgan has never... The brand, not a brand.
Yeah,
The
by the
brand.
time we get to the other island, the wind will change.
15, just enough. The brand is a arcane mark put on someone by the city themselves. That essentially, if they get into any sort of trouble whatsoever, and the guards see it, they're able to see the mark, and they will arrest them on the spot. And it is essentially, you're free, do one more thing wrong, and you're done. And it's only for the city of Single. Other cities have different versions of the brand and things like that. but for Singorn, it is a arcane brand that they put on you. It's not an actual metal brand that they sear your skin with. It's just a enchantment. Yes.
Where 5
Yeah.
people
Nope.
play the same game.
Nick,
So you know how Pokemon Unite teams
it is a. It's not physical. That's what I said. It is a not a physical. It's an arcane brand. It is not searing into you.
where all 5 players on a team are people.
No. So as he leads you in, he turns around and he's flipping through one of his books and he goes, "Ah, here it is. It's been a hot minute. Alrighty. So, are you ready to become sort of criminals?" He starts preparing the ritual for it, and as he does, he's talking. He's like, "Essentially, there's no worry about the brand. There is going to be no physical markings on you. It shouldn't hurt too much. Don't remember. It's been a minute. Essentially, as long as you don't do anything stupid within the city, and the guards don't see you doing something stupid in the city, you should be fine. But be anywhere where there's problems. Be a part of a problem. Or just be... the guards will arrest you immediately, for they will be able to see the arcane sigil that is about to be put on you. Don't worry, it is not physical. You don't see it. It is only our guards will be able to see it. They will be more alert to you and your presence as you are around, knowing that you have done something to deserve the brand, but they won't, and they will have more incentive to arrest you for dumb things. So just don't be stupid. Don't do stupid things. You should be fine. Continues to set up the ritual. Finishes the ritual, and you all feel this cold sensation. But then it's hot. It's essentially like icy hot, but like all over, all at once. And it lasts for like 3 seconds. And then he goes, "Ah, there you go. All done.
Between these islands and then ride the left coastline.
Well, off you go. Out, 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 out." And he immediately shoves you out. And he's like, just pushes you all out of his workshop. Don't be dumb. Hear a bang as he closes the door. The guards are outside. They then go to escort you out of the citadel. And as they are making their way to a familiar area to you guys, Maud and the man in the armor appear. And they stop the guard and they go, "We'll take it from here. Thank you. Go take your breaks early." And they look from her to him, like unassured, and he's like, "Just do what she says." And they go and leave. What? Oh. I didn't hear what you said. It was jumbled in my brain. He looks at you and he goes, "Well, that old delusional man should have gotten you your brands." Oh yeah, no. You didn't.
Are you sure it's not friends?
But the brand, you see, all the brand does is postpone your punishment in a sense. You do something stupid in the city while branded, the guards bring you in. At that point, there's nothing that can save you. The brand means you have done something horrible, but you have been pardoned to an extent. The second you do something again that breaks any law, well, you've done messed up already. You're gone. It's over. Yeah, essentially the brand only exists in the city. Other parts of the guard that have left the city and gone elsewhere will see it and could see it and know it, but it's depends. Just don't be dumb. Don't be near anywhere dumb. And if you're caught, we can't help you any further. I assumed you would have followed them, waited outside because they wouldn't have let you in, and then followed them down the corridor. So, yeah. He looks down to Maud. Maud just shakes her head, just a singular nod with a sigh, like, I don't even care anymore.
They look like poison-resistant summons. Or they might be just poison summons. I don't know.
Make an athletics check.
What is it? I'm curious now.
That's in the sense of somebody restraining. No, because it ignores the condition itself. Because if you couldn't be, because that's a. Still make an athletics check.
What?
20?
I was like, your modifier is not that much. I think you have a +7. All right.
25.
Like, I know what they mean. Don't
You
know which one's which.
expecting it to be easy, just because you've never really had problems with it as of late, as you've grown more powerful. It gives resistance,
Fort has the last
but
line.
easily enough, you just right on off. The chains, the shackles themselves bend as you break your hands out of it. And Leo just looks down and he's like, you know those were enchanted, right? Those are expensive. Whatever. And he goes and unlocks everyone else's.
Less time playing 5-6.
You don't get seen. Yeah, I had to tell him that I was unsuccessful in finding you, but I found them, and that was my distraction for the sense.
Also, it's night, so you might want to go a little further away from the coast.
They brought me because they thought that I would feel the most motivation in tracking you down, because they weren't very trusting of Maud or Percival. Because of your... Because they treated you more like a human than a maid. But...
This island might continue. Like this next one up here
Yes, what to do about that?
might continue all the way down to the other.
that is a problem for a different time. For now... You should probably get out of the city.
It's dark now.
You should probably leave the city. Oh my gosh. And you did.
For it to be dark. Ooh, maybe I have an idea.
He looks at Maud, and Maud just looks at him and is like, yeah, no, this is what I've been saying. They... stubborn.
I mean, it sort of helps.
Leo, the man in armor just chuckles, and he goes, all right, well, if you're so insistent, I might as well equip you for this instead of trying to resist your help.
All right, well.
I got pinged.
No. You've been branded. Complete opposite. Don't confuse them. They can be if they, do what you did. It's an enchantment that is placed on you permanently, and the guards of Singorn, you're not sure how it works, but you know that they're equipped in some way to be able to see the brand. And so if they see you, their eyes will be trained to watch you because you are branded, so they know to look out for something suspicious. They're not going to arrest you on sight when they see you, but they will be watching you. And if you get caught up in something, you are going to be one of the first to be arrested.
Oh.
And if you...
Swamp.
It doesn't mean you're immediately guilty. It just means you are the first suspect they're grabbing because you have already been branded. It says this person has done something bad. This person has already been marked, but they have been released because they have been pardoned. But they might do something dumb again. Keep an eye on them. It's just a universal. Keep an eye on those guys. No, they can't see you at all points in time. No, they can't see. Just happened.
What was this?
Oh.
Just Dark Forest?
The entire Singorn's military force just converges on your location. What have you done?
Or was it?
They don't know his name. They don't know his name.
Planes.
Yes.
Is that a bad thing?
As far as we know for information, he's telling you this as they're walking you out of the Citadel. MSG is not a person; it is an idea. There are multiple MSGs that exist, and they're all willing to die for their cause, for some reason or another. Magic is in play. I think they are arcanely bound to not talk too much, to not give up much. As we finally got this one to crack and say something, a tattoo that he had underneath his armor on his chest seemed to grow up his neck, and it seemed to be his cause of death as he started to talk. So, getting information from them is futile, but
What is that?
What we have managed to discern is that
this operation here in Singorn is not
Okay, what?
the center of it. It used to be, but
then after they found out about
It does
a
what?
different place, they found more.
Yeah, what-
resources
how
to
is
their
it-
cause? Unsure of it all. But they're in Whitestone. We can handle Singorn. Their operation is getting shakier by the day. We're making more and more arrests as the Shadow Knight has gone missing, from what I have been briefed about that.
I don't get why this
It
is
should.
plain. This still looks like swamp.
It's not just from the show, it is from the actual lore. I'm not taking it. No, that was years ago. Yeah, and it's not wasn't a widely known thing. Whitestone is forgetful. It's in season 1. You gotta get far enough into season 1.
But I wasn't.
It's in like in episode 3 or 4 they get there at the end of the episode.
There's a Greydor. We're being chased by Greydors now.
Yeah, Whitestone is quite up there. It's in the northern part of. Yeah, the
Myriad is spread.
spread widely throughout the continent, but their home base of operations in Whitestone.
Didn't do what?
We should have Singorn pretty much covered, especially now that I have returned with enough of the military to start making aggressive moves against them instead of playing on the defensive.
Fighting something else.
That is the real reason I was brought back.
But then they tried to seize an opportunity.
The Greydor can swim,
So,
right?
head to Whitestone, root them out from there. Figure out why they're there. That's not a place I would put a base of operations. Not exactly a port city. But anyway,
Yeah.
and get out of Singorn. And he looks to you and goes, "And please do not come back." I don't want you to die.
Shaman sees us. Did I just hit its foot?
Here. I got you something. And he pulls out a piece of paper and he hands it to you. From what I understood, is you.
Oh, good idea.
You studied the Arcanauts for some time.
I got
Are you
deer
able to
born
copy a
on-
scroll? Are you able to copy a scroll? Yes.
Swap because of our roles.
Use this. And he hands you a scroll of Disguise Self.
I have one more board.
Is a first level spell.
Forgery.
Yes, it will.
Why am I wet? Oh, come
He
on.
looks to the rest of the books.
That's a stupid thunderstorm.
The books. Which ones? On what?
Eric!
I know you took the dragon one and then a couple others. I don't remember what they are.
Stamina.
So you just give her these books, like you're just like, oh yeah, here you go. Yeah.
111.
I will look into these when I have time, but pretty swamped right now.
They could be of information.
Do you give her the dragon one, or do you keep that one? Or does Trevor have the dragon one? Okay, then never mind.
Yeah. All right.
As you guys are starting to make your way out of the Citadel, Percy's sitting at the front of the exit to the building itself, not the gates.
Waiting. He goes. Are you gonna leave now?
Keeping an eye out now, just in case that alerts.
Well,
That sounds like
at least you're able to say goodbye this time.
turning my game audio up.
All three of them. What? He
Percy goes up to give you a hug, and he
There's
goes,
4.
say the words and we'll come running.
There's 3. Probably.
Leo and Maud lead you to the gates of the city, or not the city, the Citadel. What? No, you're good. Yeah, you guys have gotten your items back. Yes. Sorry, I forgot that you. Yes, you have been received your items. Your shield is still as cold as ever. Leo. No. Yes. Yep. Keep slipping that. Oh well. His name's Leo. Congratulations.
Leo turns to you guys, and he goes,
There is a carriage waiting for you on the outside of the gates. Should get you pretty close to.
should, with enough supplies to get you to Whitestone.
Turns to you, Orin, he goes, about your problem. Might be best to get to a temple. There is one in Whitestone. I'd advise you go and have a conversation.
With what?
Turns to Trevor.
You are not what you seem.
Too much trouble here 'cause it's
You wear a mask.
but
Multiple.
I still want to make sure 'cause you don't have your weapons out.
use that to your advantage. He goes to JU. Sometimes silence can speak 1,000 words.
There's 58 more wood.
This was one of those moments. But in all seriousness, protect them. Protect her. All of you.
I mean, there's logs and small trees all over the place.
He walks up to. Yeah, he walks up to you, Morgan.
Now I have to go as- oh, I already-
Unsure of like a hug or like a handshake, like he doesn't know.
Don't be fancy, just make it.
He's taken aback for half a second,
Not like we're
but
gonna be here.
eventually embraces it. Now, if you excuse me, I have a intercity war to go fight. He heads into the citadel. Maud turns to all of you and goes, "This is so you don't return." And she pulls out a bag, hands it to you, Morgan. It contains 1,000 gold pieces. Don't spend it all in one place. That is for you guys to share, but I'm giving it to you because I don't trust the others as much as I trust you.
If it's thunderstorming, no one can no monsters are gonna tell the difference.
Uh huh. Do you think we gave you one of our good horses? Okay. You did not have one of our good ones. You have now been equipped with one of our good ones. Do take good care of these ones. I am well aware.
Yeah.
She can keep it.
You asked me to grab like 20.
You are quite annoying, but
Grab my
it
entire
beats reading papers all day.
stack.
To you, I'm always a stranger.
You got your hammer out? Is that what you're doing? Why can't I go through it? Is there a
You are branded. You have managed to anger almost everybody in the royal family, including myself.
if I could go through it?
I hope you don't return. For your safety. And hers. Mainly hers.
Don't you think
Majority of hers.
beneficial-
Just hers.
Do you think it would be beneficial to put a roof over the rest of this, just so that the walls are fully built, just so the walls don't get damaged by rain and get one shot by something like a troll?
Don't be stupid. She goes and gives Morgan a hug. And as she's walking, she turns and goes, "Oh, and one more thing. There's a couple of other surprises for you in your cart. But, do take your time. That depends."
What?
She goes and back into the citadel. Even you guys on the outside of the gates, them closed, citadel to your backs. What are we doing?
You have
They are, because you guys, the three of you are branded. So they see these brands and they're just kind of like,
how much wood do you have?
okay.
Alright, I'm
Percival stayed in the Citadel, so the Leo and Maud were outside the gates. Percival was never left the Citadel.
I got a first.
What's your passive perception marker? Oh.
All right, so you guys go to your cart. Yes? Or do you actually you go back to your tavern? I would assume. You collect Chester. I would assume. You're not gonna leave a mimic in a tavern.
So I just have 22 wood.
You guys go and get Chester. You bring him to your cart.
Take
Uh,
22 wood. You want any core wood too? Because I have that.
He does, but not that he would give it up to you, but he does.
Yeah. That's a troll.
What was it? I forgot. I didn't write it down because I thought of it before I had time to write it down. Now I don't remember what it was.
That's a
It's
one-star
okay.
troll.
For the sake of time, brevity, and my own sanity, we will not be doing a travel episode. So, if there's anything you guys would like to do on your journey, it's about 2 weeks to Whitestone because you have quality horses and a quality cart, and there's 3 horses
I blocked it.
pulling
and
this
it
cart.
decided
It's
to
a small
put
cart,
fuzzy blocks.
so the horses aren't getting as tired. If there's anything you would like to do on your journey to Whitestone,
I took over half damage with that.
Devin.
I dodged it. Oh boy.
Okay.
Ah. I'm going straight there.
Okay.
How much durability
Alright.
does this kill?
Your message is sent.
Okay.
You're not gonna be aware of a response until you get to Whitestone, if there's a response at all,
It's fine.
because that's where you told them you would be.
So, is that all you want to do?
Oh boy. This hut is in ruins. But he did not even touch the portal, I think. I'm working on it. Getting my food. Getting my food and armor.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get that too.
Excuse me
Just give
now.
me a second to remember what it was. I'm currently going through notes.
Oh, I was too late on that dodge. I'm lucky.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Don't you worry. It's not anything. It's it's a couple of magic items. It's not really a big roleplay worthy thing.
Whatever you do, don't run out of stamina.
Go roleplay. It's that TTRPG you're playing, and you don't even have the tabletop. So just start roleplay.
They're not something you need to worry about. Literally just zone it out for now. Don't try and
Slaps down a
stay
tabletop.
away from it. There's a shaman. He's on me. Heads up for the shaman. I, the rock throw.
real.
damage as the swing. I'll try and lead it away from you. Yeah. Oh, there's a seed here. That's why. Shoot. We're still fine. He knocked down that tree, but we're fine. I wasn't looking at the minimap. I'm not. I'm leading him back. Try and stay away from the seed, though.
Okay.
Shaman behind you. I'm gonna take out this shaman. Troll's there still. Something. There's a Grey Dwarf. Troll's on me.
Okay.
Grey Dwarf on me as well. Troll's on you. Killing this Grey Dwarf. Hit Troll for big damage. Hit him again. He's done.
That was the difficult thing that I was going on about. I was like, I don't have a way. Wait a minute. He committed treason. I got this. We're
Figure out
good.
what I said when I
Never
said
mind.
the
There's
boss
plenty
has
of time.
So much less damage
I was gonna put you in another combat situation like the kobolds and have you do something stupid like that again. And I was just gonna be like, no, you lose your magic.
I didn't pick up any wood. I only have the wood that the troll made. There it is if you want it. I was gonna see what I could do about that seed. Blueberries here. Some Oh, they saw me. Cool.
All right.
Where'd that fruit go? Oh, he went the other way. Never mind.
All right.
Yes. You wouldn't know anything about. You can with disadvantage because Bard traits go burr. You wouldn't know. JU can make one at disadvantage. What? Right, but it's the reason I'm letting you roll to begin with is because of your Jegament. With disadvantage?
Okay.
You're not sure why they're based there, but you know that a lot of resources come from Whitestone, and that they're constantly awaiting shipments of supplies to come from Whitestone. You're unsure what they're doing there, but that's where a lot of supply comes from. No, he was plane hopping. He wasn't. He didn't care about Taldori. The items you find
That were left in the cart.
there is a wand of conducting. There is a ring of spell storage. And then there is a amulet of health. The amulet of health has a letter next to it with Morgan's name on it.
Double parry.
The
Wand of conducting just allows you to create music while you wave it and do it as 3 charges per day.
Kind of.
Actually, you wouldn't know what they do. You don't have a way to identify things. Why am I telling you?
It's getting dark. Seats down.
Then sure. Yeah, amulet of health. Your constitution score is a 19 while you're wearing it. It has no effect if your constitution's already 19 or higher.
The seats down. Just
It has your name on it with the little letter saying, one last good faith for protection. Then there is the Wand of Conducting. It is simply, while you're waving it around, you can create orchestra music out of it. It has 3 charges per day. And then a Ring of Spell Storage is what it sounds like.
music change.
I'm getting there. Ring of Spell Storing. The ring stores spells cast into it, holding them until the attuned wearer uses them. The ring can store up to 5 levels worth of spells at a time. When found, it doesn't contain any because I didn't put any spells in it. Because it is a completely brand new, empty spell storage. Any creature can cast a spell of 1st through 5th level into the ring by touching the ring as the spell is cast.
So essentially, you cast the spell into the ring. The spell slot is consumed. It stays in the ring. So if you end a day and you have all your spell slots, you can cast into it. And then when you wake up the next day, that spell is there permanently until you expend it. It can be up to 1st through 5th level.
It might be just
Other than
regular troll spawn.
it can, the level of spell of the slot used to cast the spell determines how much space it uses.
An item prevents me from teleporting.
The spell uses the slot level, save DC, and attack bonus, and spell casting ability of the original caster. Is otherwise treated as if you cast the spell.
The spell cast
From the ring is no longer stored in it, freeing up space.
It can hold up to 5 levels of spells. So you can put 5 first levels, 2 seconds in a first, a third in a second. It is a rare item. The amulet and the ring require attunement. The Wand of Conducting does not. Actually, a way it could work is you could attune to...
Believe
The boat was getting a little bit too far away from shore for my liking.
it doesn't say you need to be attuned.
And you don't need to be attuned to it to cast spells into it. So you can attune to it. These two can cast into it. And then you can expend the spells from the ring all you want. And it uses the caster's spell save. So it won't be your spell save. It'll be theirs.
That's bold.
Yeah. No, it is. This is an insanely good item. And you can have one fifth level, a fourth and a first, a third and a second, a second and a lot of ones, or a lot of ones, or as long as it can only hold up to 5 levels worth. But it's a really good item. What? I have the best spells. Because I have the whole book. So scrolls are a one-time use. The second you use it, it uses up the scroll. As a wizard, you are able to transcribe them into your spell book for, I think, 50 gold a piece, unless you are a wizard of that type of spell, and then it's halved. Or something like that. But you can't cast them unless you have the spell slot for them, which you have only at first levels, so all of the spell scrolls you have, except for Disguise Self, are kind of for you to transcribe.
I called it Elder Base. Or Elder... I just called it Elder Portal.
I would say Trevor has the same level spells you do. He's a full caster, technically.
I just called it Elder Portal Room.
Higher than one, which scrolls do you have?
I have a bunch of rocks.
Oh, Chaos Bolt. That's a first level spell, I believe, actually.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, Chaos Bolt's a first level spell.
Neat. If I want to go around the different areas.
You know what's really great is Devin's looking at this like, I could put these spells in here, but he can't cast magic.
Yeah.
What other spells were you looking at, Riley?
Okay, so elemental weapon, I believe, is elemental weapons, a third level.
Counter spell's a third level.
Enhanced ability, I believe, is a second. And yeah,
So enhanced ability second, counter spell's third.
third.
So if there's a sea serpent and the wind just happens to be going in the direction of somewhere that there's land in the near area.
Ring of Spell Story. Which one of you is taking the wand of conducting?
Okay, we're ocean now. And honestly, I think I'd rather be ocean than plains. I'm following the same path, just a little wider. Is that technically swamp or plain? Because it said plain, but it looks like swamp.
You can get your spells back. You don't have to undo all of your class. Unless you really want to. This is an opportunity to.
Over here to our starboard side.
Oh, that's very entertaining. I need to describe this. I need you to read what I just I need you to hear what I just read about the wand of conducting. I didn't read it all the way through, and I just did.
I don't like the board.
Right. This wand has 3 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend one of its charges, create an orchestral music by waving it around. The music can be heard out to a range of 60 feet, ends when you stop waving the wand. The wand regains all extended charges daily at dawn. If you expend the wand's last charge, roll a d20. On a 1, a sad tuba sound plays as the wand crumbles to dust and is destroyed. I didn't read that part, but now I want you guys to roll a 1. That's all, carry on. I'm sorry. It doesn't require attunement. Insert Duel of Fates here. Through the Wand of Conducting? What does it say for a bard that you can use as a spell focus? Because I know a wizard can use a wand as a spell focus. Can a bard? I'm pretty sure. I thought it was individual. Yeah, it's individualistic to a bard. They need a musical instrument as their spellcasting focus. There you go.
Yeah,
It still will take 10 minutes to cast regardless.
yeah. That's where I'm going.
That is, still takes 10 minutes to cast.
The boat is pointed in that exact direction.
Oh.
Or what
It's not instantaneous. It just simply allows you to cast it another time without expending spell slots.
I got focus now.
Right. But those already don't require spell slots and still take your actions to cast. It wouldn't make sense to cast them into the ring. Well, it would be a waste of the ring slots because you could still hold stuff in the ring and still cast the scrolls. So you just have more options if you keep them out of the ring.
That is an eel. I saw an eel.
Who are you going to go and are you just asking everyone or are you going to go up to someone individually and ask them specifically? Okay. Where do you store them? Where's the pouch? Like on your person,
So
is
they're
it?
just annoying. They're not
Well, you're fine as long as your bag doesn't catch fire.
dumb like trolls are.
Yeah, right.
Oh, so they're a bit like trolls.
Yeah,
Like
you're welcome.
a wolf.
It is.
How was there a rock there?
Yeah, it's a rare. No, it's a rare item.
If it'd be legendary if it let you put 8 levels with the spell in it.
What?
Counterspell. 3. Counterspell's level 3, and you have a scroll of counterspell, but none of you have the ability to transcribe from spells, so from scrolls except for Morgan. You could learn it, but you can't learn it from the scroll.
My food's gone. It's probably worth
It still treats spells like concentration spells. You can't cast Spiritual Weapon twice. Essentially, it just holds the spell and allows you to cast it. It is the same thing as casting your spells normally. It just basically gives you more spell slots.
I think I want to go over there.
Yes. Whoever used the ring has the concentration, but it uses the modifiers and spell saves of whoever cast it into the ring. So if JU put a spell in there and Trevor put a spell in there, the spell casting abilities for each of those would be based off of different armor or spell saves because they have different
Yeah.
levels of spell saves because I don't think they have the same charisma modifier.
We weren't going
And if you put one in there and one of them put one in there, it'd be completely different. Use them.
for more exploration. Yeah, that's
You are holding the concentration, yes, because you are using the ring.
because
Nope.
the wind is
is not spell. Is in a class
The
feature.
wind is being annoying.
Searing Smite is a spell, and I never use it.
That's dark.
Does what work?
Forest. Same difference. That looks like mountains off in the distance as well.
Yeah, it just does. I think it does a D6 fire
Unless
damage.
that's just fog.
Catches them on fire.
Straight.
You-
Straight back.
You cast it as a bonus action, and your next attack, you have 1 minute, and your next attack will do an extra 1d6, and they roll a saving throw. If they fail, they are considered on fire, and will take that damage multiple times over until they put themselves out. Something like that. It's
Yeah.
and then there's a thunderous smite that will push them back, like as if you use Thunderwave, but individualistic. Yes. But the shield has gone cold. It used to be warm to your touch, and it doesn't feel warm anymore. No, it just you can hold it. It's metal. You're gonna when you hold.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at my mini map.
You guys are in a cart. You know that. There's no privacy here.
I mean, I would have been okay with doing that.
All right. I'm gonna say you guys make your way to Whitestone. You get in. We'll get you. You get your room. Like a hotel, tavern. You get that all housing all situated. We can pick up at breakfast in that new tavern in Whitestone next week, unless you wish to keep going. Yeah, that's what I think.
Also, how long is it take?
Oh well,
what you see in the show and what you would have seen now are two completely different cities, solely because of the recovery that the city went through.
In this like for healing. Like for healing, how long is it?
Yeah, it's a hot minute ahead. I don't remember what I said. It changes every single time. I don't think it's 100 or 200 years. I still think there are members of Vox Machina around the world.
Yes, they are. They have
Disbanded. They still are alive. Because Percival, Frederick Stein von Mussel Kowalski
Dorilla the Third is now king of Whitestone.
Don't ask me how I know that off the top of my head. I am a nerd.
Right on the shore. Or who knows why.
I would love that. I would love that. I have an entire character based off of Percival. You don't want to meet Percy.
Are we hitting it? Are we actually hitting it?
He Percy's character is the villain that became a hero. He is a hero that is a villain. He is just essentially, yeah. Jason Todd, if he invented the gun.
We're hitting it alright.
Yeah, no, he is Oliver.
Does it back up? No. Yeah, that hit it.
That's true.
Stop it.
No, you're fine.
What? control.
Yeah, it's
Mark it.
yeah.
Marked. Look at that. The wind's in our favor now.
Oh,
What's that? That was a fish. It's like leather pants.
Whitestone. Here we go.
Leather pants.
All right.
I saw the rock come into render distance and I
Um,
the rock deciding it wanted to just jump.
I haven't really read up on all of it. Essentially, it is a very beautiful, beautiful city. There's this giant tree in the middle of the city. It is just, it is huge, biggest tree you guys have ever seen, and it is thriving. It has these beautiful leaves of color, even though it isn't fall on it. It
Not killing us.
is quite the sight to behold. It is in the dead center of the city.
I had my map up.
There is a lot of people bustling about.
And as you look, the city's guards hold weird weapons, constructed out of metal and wood. They hold it to their sides, small things. Nothing any of you have ever seen before, but you've heard the rumors.
Something called a pepper box. And you know they're dangerous, and you know they're effective.
What is a room
And you
stone
know
in the middle of a
that they were used, weapons like this
that the tide wants
have
to
been
destroy
used
all?
and were invented by the king himself, Percival de Rolla. But you have no idea how they work, how they function, what they do, and they are very odd looking.
I'm a mobile player. I like vision.
The city looks like it has recovered greatly from what it once had to deal with before.
That's a sandbar.
Um,
And
and
you want to let me know those exist beforehand?
yeah,
It's a tide. It's a tide.
it is currently run by a council now, the Chamber of Whitestone. But
Yes, the DeRollos still
I'm giving
rule
us more
Whitestone.
vision than you would
Percival is alive. Him and his wife. He is? It has not been that long of time. That's why I was like, actually, it's not, because I told you that they're still alive. Him and his wife still run Whitestone with Percival's sister, Cassandra. But you guys don't know much about any of Whitestone's history. None of you are affiliated with it. But it is run by the Chamber. That's what it's called.
apparently.
Their council is the Chamber of Whitestone.
I'll drink some water instead.
No. And as you guys don't know much, but the city's beautiful.
And it gets the name Whitestone because the mountains around it are made out of a stone that is white, pure white. Unlike anywhere else in all of Tal'Dorei. And that's how that's what makes them such a efficient city. That's how they're able to recover so fast, is this stone and its properties. It is a really good rock for enchanting minor enchantments. It is really good for trade, export, building, all of the things. And it is how Whitestone recovered so fast, is because they are able to make such a profit off of the stone. And they're the only place in, as far as anyone's aware, Exandria, where you can acquire this stone. This tree spans a few city blocks. But that entire area in the dead center of the city where the tree spans is a park. There is no infrastructure there. There's there's
What you call those things?
they're little arch boys, little arches.
Nope.
Cathedral. Thank you.
And there's
There's a bunch of. It's essentially just like a park, like. There's paths and stuff going through it. It is very beautiful. The city has recovered greatly after what the Briarwoods put it through. But you aren't fully aware of the situations that have happened here, and it's happened Not in your time and not in your realm of living.
that you don't know much about the city itself.
But welcome to Whitestone.
I was in my map and I just saw the screen shake in every direction possible.
Yeah. Stop her there.